Alright, so I think a lot of us saw this coming. In the end, it really seemed like it was between Craig Berube and Todd McClellan. In the end, the Leafs go with Berube, former Stanley Cup champion in 2019 with St. Louis. Obviously, we can't know for sure because we're not in the dressing room, but he seems like a much harder coach than Sheldon Keefe. You get the vibe that he's not going to take any BS from anybody on that team, and that he's going to keep things on the straight and narrow. I mean, his nickname is literally Chief. He's certainly got alpha dog energy. He was, and I'd say still is, absolutely beloved in St. Louis. I mean, after he was fired by the Blues, Jordan Kyrou was literally booed for what he said about him. They loved this guy, and rightfully so. He brought them their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. And that's significant because if you remember what the St. Louis Blues were before 2019, you'll remember they had that label of being really good regular season teams who couldn't quite get over the hump, couldn't quite win the big games, and he brought them to the promised land. Now, if you've been watching my Leafs videos recently, you know that I definitely don't think this is the be-all end-all for this team. No matter if you hire Berube, McClellan, Daryl Sutter, whoever you want. Daryl Sutter would have been really funny. The hiring of the coach alone would not fix this team's problems. I still think there needs to be some significant roster changes here, not just behind the bench. It definitely helps, and in my opinion, Craig Berube is exactly what this Leafs team needs right now. I'm a fan of the hire, but I think there's still a lot that needs to be done this offseason. Think of the Blues going and getting Ryan O'Reilly for their Stanley Cup winning season and how big of an impact that had. They don't win the cup without him. And trust me, I fully realize the oozing irony out of what I'm saying given what happened a couple years later. Nonetheless though, I don't want to tell Leaf fans who are excited about this not to be, because they definitely have a right to be. It's exciting. And it's funny, almost 2 weeks ago, Craig Berube was on the panel with Paul Bissonnette for TNT, and Biz was joking around that, oh, I'm going to break the news that you're the next coach of the Leafs. And Berube got all quiet. He didn't really know what to say. Maybe because he already knew the Leafs were interested and he was mulling it over. But now that it's true, it's funny to look back on it. And like I said, a lot of people kind of saw this coming. The only thing that I was a little bit iffy on was that it had been reported that other teams were interested. So I was thinking, all right, not everybody wants to deal with the Toronto media and the circus that comes with being a part of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We used to joke that all the circus is coming to town whenever they come to Alberta, but clearly Berube's embracing it, and they're probably paying him pretty handsomely to embrace it. And Pierre LeBrun has also just announced that Berube's deal is 4 years. But then again, with NHL coaches this day and age, that doesn't mean too much. Sheldon Keefe just signed an extension this season. I'm also pretty interested to see who Berube's assistant coaches are. As David Pagnotta hinted, I'm assuming he's going to want some experience behind the bench with him, and apparently one of them might be an ex-NHL head coach, so I'm fascinated to see who ends up joining him. And man, if it's anything like Rick Tocchet after he was on the TNT panel joking around with Biz, I think Leaf fans are going to be pretty happy. Let me know your thoughts on this hire for the Leafs, and what's the next move for this franchise this offseason. Let me know. I might make like a part 2 to this video where I dive even deeper into it, so if that's something you want to see, make sure you like the video. Please subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.